Welcome to Trifecta Collective, Finding the Root, where we dive deep into understanding and addressing root causes of chronic health issues so you can help and find healing inside and out, now and forever.
Hello, and welcome to Trifecta Collective, Finding the Root. I'm Megan Abbott, owner and founder of the holistic health practice at Trifecta Collective. Welcome to the podcast. So it is officially holiday season for so many of us, and this often comes with a lot of stress, maybe a lot of extra sweets around being around a lot of family or friends or coworkers who you may not have the best relationship with. And this can just be a really hectic time of the year. And last year, right around this time, we did an episode all about how to handle the holidays and make it through. And I thought it was important to record this again and it's not going to be exactly the same, obviously. And there's some big points that I'm already hearing from clients. And I think it's so important for so many of us to hear these things regularly, especially around this time of the year, when it comes to helping our overall health and wellness persist as we go through and kind of wrap up the end of this year. And I know a lot of people, I especially felt this when I was in the personal training space of people almost throwing everything away, saying, F it, and I'm just going to enjoy myself. And then this is where I'm going to start brand new, start new fresh, start very fresh in January and do all these things. And usually by January, they feel really not good. There's a lot of things going on. And then they jump into a strict elimination diet, like a Whole30 or a paleo. We might see like an F45 or other of these kind of more intensive and wild practices that are not sustainable long term. And they have a time and a place, I think, for some people. And there's a lot that we can do in this holiday season to make sure that we end up not feeling really bad. We don't have to feel really bad come January. We can really maintain and also enjoy yourself as you go into this time of the year. And so really what I want to talk about is finding that flow. I don't love the word balance, but I like, let's find the flow within that. And what does this really look like? And what are some things that you can do to help and support your body and really maybe just think about going into the holiday season? So I'm going to break this up into different categories here, and I'm going to go based off of our 5 pillars that we really work around. And that is nutrition, lifestyle, movement, nervous system regulation, and then any sort of like supplementation we can say. And I don't think I'm going to have a lot to say about the supplement side of things, but I have a lot to say around all the other things. So let's talk about nutrition here first. So I think one really important thing, especially if you celebrate Thanksgiving, if you have some sort of December holiday, whether that's Hanukkah, whether that's Christmas, whether that's a different holiday of some sort, splurging on food is a really common occurrence here. And even like all of the holiday parties and all of the cookies and all of those things that can really come up around this time of the year can be a lot. And can be very tempting and very easy to overindulge. And one recommendation for you is enjoy. Enjoy it. Enjoy the food. For me, Thanksgiving is the best. It is I love all of the food. I do a good turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie. Those are my staples. Probably throwing a veggie in there, but TBD on that one, but definitely good for me. And then we do like a massive charcuterie board. Man, do I love a good holiday charcuterie board. All of the meats, cheeses, chocolate, berries, olives, pickles. Give me all of the yummy goodness. And so, you know what? I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to eat a lot. I'm probably going to overeat on Thanksgiving, maybe even for a couple days after while I'm enjoying all of those leftovers. And that's okay because guess what? 95+% of the time, I eat very clean, very well, lots of good protein, lots of good veggies, not too low carb. And so spending a few days really enjoying some really good food, who cares? It's not going to make a big difference. Now, here's also the caveat. So I am very strictly gluten-free because I feel awful for days, up to a week when I eat gluten. So I am 100% strictly gluten-free and have been for many, many years. So there's no gluten in my diet, and there will not be any gluten in anything that I make. Dairy, almost everything is dairy-free except the cheeses. I love some good cheeses. I'll notice, I was diagnosed, quote unquote, diagnosed lactose intolerant when I was really young. I mean, I was in elementary school, maybe first or second grade. I was technically diagnosed. And I don't drink milk. I don't do ice cream. Anytime I cook something with cream cheese or sour cream, it is almost always dairy free. Cheese is really the exception. And by and large, especially with good quality cheeses like a goat or a sheep's milk based cheese, I really don't react poorly to it. And by and large, cheese, I typically do not react or have issues with. In most cheeses, I do tend to turn to cheeses that are a little bit lower in lactose. And there's quite a few that are out there. Quick Google search, you'll get the list. But also most people who even do have issues with dairy, a goat or sheep's milk based product, dairy product, often is going to be a little bit easier to digest. So I do love those for sure. But once again, it's a few days. And that's it. And that's okay. Pick and choose your battles. If you're eating well most of the time, a couple extra cookies, 2 days of eating more, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to kill you. It's going into the all or nothing mentality of from middle of November to the end of the year, I'm going to eat like an a-hole and just shove my face with whatever is in front of me. That's where we get into trouble. None of this is supposed to be all or nothing. And I think that is really challenging for so many people to shift out of that mentality of it doesn't have to be all or nothing. There can be balance. There can be flow. We can indulge and splurge and feel good about it and enjoy it. And also eat like a normal, regular person is supposed to eat with good protein, good veggies, not too low carb for most of us. That's a very balanced way of eating. And so let's just focus on that of take the time, enjoy the yummy food, enjoy the cookies, enjoy the stuff, but be mindful of what you're doing on the other days. And how can you make sure that you are feeding and fueling and nourishing your body on those other times? And then once again, really let down the barriers, let down the self-criticism of you hate yourself, you're punishing yourself, you're any of the negative self-talk that can come into play when we quote unquote overindulge on certain things. Let it go. Just let it go. Enjoy yourself. And if you actually enjoy it and take that self-criticism, take that pressure off, your body is going to usually almost always do better with whatever it is. If you don't typically eat gluten and every once in a while you're like, man, I love stuffing. Maybe you love someone's stuffing and you're just like, I'm just going to have stuffing and I'm going to enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's okay. For me, I will have significant consequences. I'm also really mastered my gluten-free stuffing recipe. Really comes down to the bread. We also have a Thanksgiving cookbook. If you're not familiar, if you're on our email list, it went out on our email list. But don't hesitate to reach out if you did not get your copy. And we've got all kinds of really good recipes from appetizers, charcuterie board, turkey, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, I think, Brussels sprouts. There's quite a list in there. And these are all things that I've consistently made over the years. Everything is gluten-free and dairy-free on that list. Desserts, there's apple pie, pumpkin pie for sure. I don't know if there's any other desserts on there. I can't remember, but there's lots of really good stuff on there. And even for people who do eat gluten, who do eat dairy, who aren't super mindful of what they eat. I used to make this for a large family, and it got raving reviews every year. Just every single year that I hosted, raving reviews for all of these recipes. So they are good, they are tested, and lots of good stuff in there. So that's definitely an option. I think from a nutritional standpoint too, focus on what you can. Get protein. Eat your protein. I'll tell you that goes a really long way. Balance your blood sugar. Get your protein where you can. And if you're traveling and you're having a hard time with that, couple options here. When you get to whatever place you are, get a rotisserie chicken. Just have it on hand and pick at it as you need extra protein. It's a really easy way to get that extra protein without having to cook, without having to do anything crazy. As long as you have a fridge available, like super good. Couple other things. There are some decent protein bars that are out there that have good ingredients. The big ones that I often think of are RX bars. Really good, very clean ingredients, like overall super good. Epic has some really good bars. They're more meat sticks than like a traditional bar, but they do have like bars that are almost like a protein bar that are really good. Once again, very clean ingredients and overall meat sticks. I'm a big fan of meat sticks. I like Chomp is the one I will typically do, just the plain sea salt one. There are a handful of good brands out there. Epic is a really good one. Take that with you. Just have protein wherever you go. Get some yogurt if you want. For me, if I am going to snack, and sometimes this is honestly part of my lunch, is Siggi's, Siggi''S, has a really good like individual yogurts that are available in a lot of stores, not all, but a lot. They're dairy free and they have 10 grams of protein per little yogurt. Super good way to get in a little extra protein, little snack. They're tasty. The ingredients are quite clean. So that's another really good option. The other thing I really recommend, especially for women, eat breakfast. Make it a priority, even when you're traveling, to get something in your belly for breakfast, ideally within the first hour of waking. That can go a really long way. Try and get some protein in there. Try and not just do a croissant. Try and get some eggs in there, some sausage, some bacon, some turkey, some leftovers from dinner the night before. Get some turkey in there. Just something with protein, because that's going to help to balance out your blood sugar, not only for that day, or not only for that morning, but also throughout the entire day. And that goes a really, really long way. So once again, like maybe if you are traveling, like get some egg bites, get something pre-made if you don't have access to a kitchen, and do it that way. And that can go a long way. Also, breakfast doesn't have to be breakfast. You can have that rotisserie chicken for breakfast too. Just once again, like that protein goes a really, really, really long way. So that can be super helpful. Other really basic thing to focus on, hydration. Stay hydrated. Just get a water bottle and keep filling it up and do your best. Even if you're out running around, doing all the things, try and keep up with your water. Like 60 to 90 ounces is good for most people. Do your best, but really do put an emphasis on the hydration piece, especially if you're going to be drinking. Now, I also don't drink very much, like at all. And it's like maybe once or twice a year, maybe at this point in time. So focusing on hydration. Also understand that drinking alcohol of any sort, once again, enjoy it if you're going to do it. It's probably going to interrupt your sleep. So be mindful of that. When you don't get a good night of sleep, hunger cues the following day can increase just naturally. So you may feel hungrier. If you've ever been hungover, which I'm assuming is a good portion of the population here, including myself, we tend to want that greasy type of food. Just make sure you get some protein in there. Try and drink some extra water. Like, do what you need to do. Understand that you may be a little bit tired the next day. Understand like mental and emotional health, like alcohol depletes some of these neurotransmitters. So some of these like happy drugs may not be where they need to be. And do your best. do your best with what you can. And once again, if you're going to do these things, enjoy it. That goes a really, really long way. So I think those are the big things when it comes to nutrition. Just like do your best. The protein goes a long way. Breakfast goes a long way. Hydration goes a really long way. And also enjoy yourself. Like really enjoy yourself when you're quote unquote off your plan or whatever you might be. Enjoy yourself. So when we think about lifestyle things, so I'm a big fan, as you know, of liver supporting activities. A dry brush. Man, a dry brush is so easy to travel with if you are traveling. Castor oil packs while you're cooking, while you're doing things. Wear your castor oil pack. Doesn't have to be worn at night. Can be worn during the day while you're doing things, while you're wrapping presents, while you're preparing, while you're decorating, whatever it is, put the castor oil pack on. If you are traveling, get a little mini dry brush. Super easy. Just before you shower, spend 5 minutes dry brushing. Take a bath. Enjoy yourself and relax and take a bath. Put some Epsom salt in there. 1 to 2 cups. If you're just starting out, you can go 2 to 8 cups as needed here, but that's a great thing. You can also pick up a tiny bag of Epsom salt. I'll tell you, I will put a whole bag of Epsom salt, one of those small bags, in a bath for myself. So, that's an easy thing that you can do. Certainly you can do a sauna, you can do these other things, but I won't worry about it. I would just focus on the basics and incorporate things when and where you can. But that's going to help filter out excess stress, to help keep your hormones balanced, to help with blood sugar regulation, to help with all of these things that the liver does and processing out extra toxins, extra pathogens that may be in certain foods, like all that kind of stuff. Do your best, but go with the basics. Add it in when and where you can. And it doesn't have to be a whole thing. It can just be a little 5-minute thing. That can go a long way. Treat yourself. Go get a lymphatic drainage massage. They're wonderful. They're totally different than like a deep tissue massage or something like that. And that's going to help move lymphatic fluid out of your body, help with some of the puffiness, can help with drainage, can help you like look and just feel better overall. But that can be really good, really valuable. So those are some basic things that you can do. I'm going to couple some of these lifestyle and movement things in here too. Go for walks. Once again, yeah, strength training is great. Pilates is great. Yoga is great. By the way, Yoga with Adriene has some really good videos that are less than 10 minutes long. There are plenty of other people that also have free videos and on YouTube, and you can do those. Do a quick yoga session. Just keep your body open. Go for a walk. Go take a 5 or 10 minute walk. That's going to go a really long way. If you can couple that after a meal, go for like a 5 to 10 minute walk after you eat. That's also going to help balance your blood sugar out. That can go a really long way. Or just after you're done eating, clean up. Do some gentle activity where you're cleaning up, maybe you're putting things away, all that kind of stuff. That gentle movement, that light activity is going to help continue to balance out your blood sugar and can go a really long way. So that can be super helpful. If you get a gym session in here and there, amazing, great, do it. And you don't have to put pressure on yourself to be consistent 1,000% of the time. If you are traveling, maybe the week before you do your normal 2 workouts, and then you're like, look, I'm going to aim for 1 10-minute yoga session while I'm gone. Or I'm just going to enjoy myself and I'll go for a walk as I want, or I'm going to go explore a new place and do some walking around, maybe do some window shopping or actual shopping or doing different things. Once again, we can really overcomplicate this. And the whole goal of this is to keep it simple and not put too much pressure on yourself. But very gentle things can go a very, very, very long way here. So I think those are like some real basic things before I want to get into the larger topic that I really want to get into here. And that's related to nervous system. We can also tie in mindset in here. And this is, look, this time can be very stressful for a lot of people. And once again, I'm already hearing this from clients right now. And the number one, I'll say there's 2 pieces of advice that I'm really recommending pretty across the board as I'm seeing this come up. The first one is do something nice for you. So many people, especially women, focus on everyone else. I'm going to do this party. I'm going to go shopping for these people. I want to decorate. I want to make sure everything is perfect for everyone else. Okay, great. What are you doing for yourself though? Do you actually enjoy this time of year? If you do, go do something fun for you. And maybe this is by yourself. Maybe this is with a partner. Maybe this is with your children. Maybe this is family or friends. But do something for you. What do you enjoy? Do you enjoy going to a local event where they're lighting up a Christmas tree? Do you enjoy window shopping? Do you enjoy driving around and looking at the lights? Do you enjoy a massage? Do you enjoy an hour to yourself? Like, what do you enjoy? And do that once. Doesn't have to be crazy, doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be like a whole big thing. But what is something that brings you joy around this time of the year? And if this is a very heavy time of the year for you, which for me it was for many, I'll say most of my life, it's really only the last few years that it hasn't been. Do something that makes you feel good that maybe is totally unrelated to the holidays. Maybe that's going, for me, I used to usually get an extra massage, or I'd go do a float tank session or something like that. That was just nice, that made me feel good, that brought some extra joy and happiness into my life. Do that. Do that for you, because if you're so busy worrying about everyone else, you also deserve something nice. And sometimes we just have to do that for ourselves, because sometimes we don't have other people that will do that for us. And sometimes we do have amazing people that will do amazing things for us. And that's awesome too. And invitation is still to do something nice for you that makes you feel good, that brings you joy, and that brings you happiness and helps you feel connected to this time of the year, or helps you feel good in your body, or just feels good for your mental and emotional health. Like, do that for you. The other thing, by and large, that I'm recommending is to take a little bit of space right now, hopefully before things get too busy, or if things are already super busy, take like 10, even just 10 or 15 minutes, and think about the people that you're going to be around for the holidays, especially if this time of year you're around a lot of people that maybe you don't super vibe with, maybe can bring a lot of drama, can bring a lot of stress, frustration, annoyance, any or all of those things, among other things too. And where might you be able to set yourself up to be in a better position around these individuals? Is it maybe setting some new boundaries? Maybe there's some topics you don't want to talk about. For me, for a long time, like, my nutrition was something I did not want to talk about. And I didn't, oh, you're gluten-free, you're dairy-free. Why are you doing that? What can you eat? Why can't you eat? Oh, you can't drink. Oh, you can't drink beer. Like, oh, why are you doing this? Like, that sounds like the worst. It sounds so frustrating. Like, what are you going to eat? What are you going to have? All of these things are real life scenarios that I have experienced. And at one point, I just started saying, hey, this is the way I'm eating, and I would prefer not to talk about it. And then I would ask the other person a question. Never did anyone push back on that. And if I said it very clearly, without emotion, no one ever had any questions. By the way, people also love to talk about themselves. And so if you wrap that statement up of whatever topic you prefer not to talk about, weight is a big one for a lot of people, of like, oh my gosh, you lost weight. Oh my gosh, like, you're looking big. Like, are your clothes fitting? Whatever it may be. And I've heard some real horror stories from people. Hey, I'm not open to talking about my weight at this time. Blanket statement. You don't need to say anything else. You don't need to justify yourself. Ask a question for them. I can almost guarantee you, like with 95% certainty, they're not going to bring it back up. And once again, you just say it without emotion. You're not mean about it. You're not angry about it. You're just, hey, I'm not talking about this. Let's change the subject. Let's talk about you. What's going on in your life? How are your kids? How is your family? How's work? How's whatever it may be? People love to talk about themselves, and I guarantee they probably won't bring it up. So that can be a really good strategy. But what other kind of things do you need during this time? And a big one when we talk about these boundaries is one, like, boundaries. But two is, what are you doing to take care of your own mental and emotional health during this time? Once again, especially if you are traveling and being around people who, once again, maybe you just don't super vibe with ever, or just not anymore. And that is okay. What does that look like for you? For someone like me, I'm very sensitive, and it's very overstimulating for me to be around a lot of people for a lot of days. So even, for me with retreats, like I need some space and some separation to myself, and I make sure that I do that for me. And that looks different depending on the environment I'm in, if I'm sharing a room, if I'm not sharing a room. Are there a lot of people that are going to be asking me questions? Are there a lot of people that maybe I haven't seen, which I really do want to interact with? But how do I find that, once again, like flow, balance? I don't love the word balance, but how do we find that flow of making sure that we are taken care of, but we can also enjoy and participate in the activities that are going on? One of my favorite tools to incorporate is use the bathroom as your sanctuary. The time that you're taking a shower, spend an extra minute or two and do some deep breathing, do a short meditation, just do some like body connection work. Go to the bathroom and take an extra 2 or 3 minutes to just, maybe you're sitting in silence. Maybe that's what you really need. Go sit in silence for an extra 2 or 3 minutes. I can almost guarantee that most people are not going to have questions if you take an extra 2 or 3 minutes in the bathroom, whether that's shower or not. But do that for yourself. Can you take a few minutes before you even see anyone or start your day? What about the end of the day? Can you do a little something for yourself as you're getting ready to go to bed, to fall asleep, to decompress, whether that's a journal or meditation or breath work? These little things go such a long way. And I think so many of us see these things as, oh, it's not going to help. Oh, it's not going to make a difference. So I'm just going to let them go during this time of the year. And let me tell you, these are some of the most valuable practices and tools to have in your toolbox, is these short little things that help you feel better, help you be in your body, help your physical, mental, emotional, and or spiritual health. What does that look like for you? And once again, how do we carry that out into the real world, especially in situations like the holidays where things can be busy, where you can be around a lot of people, where you can be around family that's very stressful, or friends that are stressful, or coworkers that are really stressful? All of these things. And it's these little things, especially if you do several of these little things, they go such a long way. And I promise, if you are consistent with them and incorporate them, add them in. And here's the thing, if you are one of those people that just forgets to do these things, set alarms on your phone, set reminders, set timers on your phone. Once again, the likelihood that someone's going to ask a question of, oh, what's that alarm for? Oh, it's to take a supplement, to take a medication, to go take a minute, to go look at something. Doesn't matter what the excuse is or the truth is. If you want to share that, whatever you need to do for you, do it. And once again, all these little things really, really, really add up. Kind of the last piece of this that I'm going to wrap up on this, and this is going to be a shorter episode, and the goal of this was to be a shorter episode to just give you kind of quick tips and tricks to make it through this time of the year, is once again, really enjoy yourself, but also take care of yourself. And I think so many of us have been groomed that taking care of ourselves are selfish. And invitation to start to shift that mindset. You don't need to work. You don't need to earn love, compassion, worthiness. You don't have to do anything crazy out of your way to make someone else feel special, to make yourself feel special. And so give yourself a little grace, especially all the time, but especially around this time of the year, especially if you are someone who does a lot for other people around this time of the year. Give yourself grace, give yourself love, give yourself some compassion. You're doing a lot extra. And that's amazing and beautiful and good for you. And it shouldn't come at the cost of your own health and well-being. So really let that piece sink in, because I think that is probably the most important message I want to share or have come across in this episode here is give yourself the grace, give yourself compassion, give yourself love. This can be a big time of the year, whether you enjoy it or not. And I've been on both sides of that coin. And it used to really, this time of the year really used to take a toll on my mental and emotional health. And I would get wildly depressed and very anxious and avoidant, extra avoidant, and all of these things. And if that is you, that is also okay. Just by the way, there is nothing wrong with you. You do not have to love this time of the year. You do not have to get wrapped up in all of the consumerism and all of the things that can be involved. And if you do love it, great, love it, enjoy it. But are you actually enjoying it? Are you slowing down just a little bit to actually enjoy it? What do you need to keep your sanity, to keep your mental and emotional health, to make sure you're not going into January and feeling like absolute total garbage? Because I can tell you doing that every year is not good for your health either, in any form or fashion. So take care of yourself while also doing something nice for yourself, enjoying. Do the little things. The little things add up so much and go such a long way. And they are a big deal to continue to incorporate. So continue on with those. Enjoy yourself as much as you can, and also give yourself a lot of grace. Thank you for listening. As always, please like, subscribe, follow. If it resonates, a 5-star review really, really, really means the world to us. Hope you enjoy this holiday season as much as you can, or do something nice for yourself if you don't enjoy this, or if you do. Either way, do something nice for yourself because you deserve it. You've earned it because you are worthy, just because of who you are. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.